What's up, y'all? Chris here to do some afterthoughts on last night's Bellator pay-per-view. I know I'm late with this video. First off, I wasn't even going to plan on doing it. I didn't get a lot of views or responses to my Bellator predictions, which I didn't expect. You know, if you keep an eye on Twitter and stuff, you can kind of tell the interest or lack thereof in this case going into an event, and as well as when you post fight videos. You know, say you post a Pacquiao Mayweather video, boxing, you're going to get a lot more views. MMA, I'd say Ronda Rousey, you know, Anderson Silva, that kind of deal. Just wasn't a lot of interest from what I saw in this Bellator pay-per-view outside of hardcore MMA fans. But I watched it anyway, went to the bar and watched it, and it was definitely an event, to say the least, you know. Was it entertaining? Yes, it was entertaining. Was it worth the money? Depends on, you know, I didn't pay to watch it, so I can't really complain. But I don't know. I'd have to talk to someone that paid for it. I haven't talked to anyone yet that straight out ordered it, but I'd have to get their perspective. Just depends on what you were looking for. But it was a fun night. I mean, it was a fun night of fights. If nothing else, I was entertained. It gave you a lot to talk about. The reason I didn't do a video last night, though, one, it ran late or long. Usually events, you know, pay-per-view events, UFC over by 10, and this ran past. I'd already had a long day. Then I had to come home and watch Marquez Alvarado, so I just didn't feel like doing a video last night, and I just didn't get around to it right away today. But anyways, if you saw the event, you know, it was crazy. You know, my picks were way off, which worked out for the best in my opinion. Outside of, you know, I was talking to some guy, oh, you should, you know, this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win. At least that's what I thought. And didn't go that way. But you know, I've said before, it's better to be wrong in fights unless you got money on it, in my opinion, because it makes it more unexpected. You know, you're more entertained in a way because things don't go the way you thought they were gonna go. But as far as this, you know, Michael Page in the opener, pretty entertaining guy. I guess you would say a somewhat knockoff version or a MMA type version of Roy Jones with the antics and stuff. The way he fights in there, walks away, kind of clowns. Not nearly on a Roy Jones level in the boxing perspective, so to speak, but entertaining fighter. He's still a novice in the sport, but he's fun to watch. Volkov, Blago, Ivanov, whatever, you know. Volkov got a submission win. Not really much to say about that. Tito Ortiz, Alexander Shlemenko. First off, when they got in there, Tito Ortiz, my friend Jason, Dirty White Boy on YouTube, said that Tito Ortiz looked like Antonio Bigfoot Silva in there. And he did, because he's got the big-ass head like Antonio Bigfoot Silva, and he was so much bigger than his opponent. He did look like Bigfoot. He looked like a dinosaur in there. So much bigger than Shlemenko. I mean, Shlemenko did what I thought he was going to do. He went straight to the body and was lighting Tito up to the body, but unfortunately, Tito was able to get close enough to crown to the ground, and from there, it was all over, man. Tito was just so much bigger than him. It looked like a high schooler fighting an elementary school kid. It was just a mismatch once they were on the ground. It was funny, though, man. Tito is so past it, man. I mean, I know he won the fight, but in the stand-up, man, he looked bad. His movement, he looked slow. He looked awkward. Just not that he ever looked very crisp on his feet or technique-wise, but he just did not look good at all. When he gets in there with the legit light heavyweight, I think he's going to get taken out with quickness. But then again, I thought that was going to happen in this fight, so you never know. But either way, he won by a arm triangle choke. You could see it coming on the ground a mile away. I'm like, arm triangle. And, I mean, even before he locked it in, you could see it coming a mile away, but I guess Shlemenko couldn't. But I'll say this. A lot of people give Tito shit for still fighting, but the bar I was at, by far the biggest reaction of the night was when Tito Ortiz won that fight. Same with when he beat Ryan Bader. And in the crowds, you know, when you saw those two fights, the reaction by the crowd. So Tito still has a lot of fans. A lot of people like to see him win. You know, I've been watching this guy fight since his first fight in the UFC, you know. So even though I didn't think he was going to win, and I'm not the biggest Tito fan anymore, I was when he first entered the sport, not really as much anymore. But even I got, you know, pretty pumped up seeing him win a fight. It's just because when you don't expect something to happen and it does, you know, it's one of those type of deals. That's why we watch sports for the most part. Co-main event of the night. Oh, in the post-fight interview, you know, Tito just memorable for a lot of reasons. A lot of entertaining reasons. Things going on with Tito Ortiz like usual. Will Brooks, Michael Chandler in the co-main event. I was off on this one as well. Michael Chandler said it was his worst performance. He felt terrible. Didn't look his best either. You know, normally he's more one to stand and trade and engage on the feet, but he was just looking to go from takedowns from the jump. Will Brooks showed a lot more than I thought he had. You know, definitely was not intimidated by Chandler nor the moment. Brought the fight to Chandler from the third round on. Looked really strong in the third round. I thought he had it sealed up in the fifth, and then Chandler, last minute, literally last minute, 60 seconds of that fight, turned it on. Got the mount, ground and pound, went for submissions, almost got it there. I thought he might have stole the round, but Will Brooks ended up winning a split decision, and getting the interim title, you know, possibly setting up a fight with Chandler. I don't know. I heard that Chandler, or with Eddie Alvarez, I heard that Eddie Alvarez already has in his contract that he'll fight Chandler next. I don't know. I'm down enough to watch Eddie Alvarez fight either of these guys, but this was fight of the night, in my opinion. And congratulations to Will Brooks. You know, big win, biggest of his career by far. Michael Chandler, I can't say for sure, but I can't recall ever seeing this guy in a bad fight. He may be on the low, one of the most exciting fighters in the sport. Tell me of a bad Michael Chandler fight, because I don't recall it. And the main event of the night, Quentin Rampage Jackson versus Keith. Oh, and that's what I want to say about this pay-per-view. The one thing that stood out the most about this pay-per-view, terrible pacing. The pacing in this event was awful. Particularly the first hour. It seemed like I was waiting a half an hour, 40 minutes between fights. It was like, you could tell this was Bellator's first pay-per-view based on that alone. But if you ever watch Bellator on Friday night, the things I hate about it is that it's not live. When I watch it on the West Coast, they delay it. So there's all these commercials between fights. They're going to stretch it out. No matter how fast the fights go, they're going to make it last that whole 2+ hour broadcast time slot. And that's what they did here. It's like, instead of commercials, which they normally have, they just put in all these unnecessary interviews and just crap filler. It was so bad. The pacing was so bad. I couldn't imagine if I was at the event. I would have been bored out of my mind. At least at the bar, you can talk to people, you can drink, you can, you know, look at women. I mean, I guess there's women at the Bellator event as well, but I mean, just being there, I would have been pissed. Not as many distractions. You can't really bail out as much as you can at a bar and be around, you know, a different environment. But, man, the pacing on this event was the worst by far. It was like some early days UFC type of shit. But that aside, Rampage versus Mo this was very reminiscent of Quentin Rampage Jackson versus Rashad Evans. Great build-up. But then the fight just didn't live up to it, in my opinion. Same with this. I thought Mo won the first round, Rampage the second. I thought Mo won the third with the takedowns, with the wrestling. One thing that surprised me most in this fight, how little Mo wanted to engage on the feet. He's been working on his boxing the last couple of years. Kind of got up on it. I guess getting knocked out by Emmanuel Newton or something must have shook him, because he just did not want to deal with Rampage at all on the feet. You know, even though he had the speed advantage and he has a pretty solid jab, but he just didn't want to get down on the feet at all, unfortunately. And, you know, third round, got the takedown. I thought he set up the fight there, but judges were taking a while with the scorecards here in the main event and the co-main event. And I'm just like, man, you know something's up, especially on a night like this, just the way the pay-per-view went, the event went. Oh, also, one other thing I forgot to mention. Mo, before the fight and also after the fight, calling Bjorn Rebney old dick riding ass, saying he was dick riding Rampage. Dude, that was hilarious, especially when it was on Spike TV. That was the funniest because it was on Spike, you know, live TV. But calling him old dick riding ass. Man, Mo's hilarious, man. But anyways, yeah, Rampage gets you unanimous decision win. I thought Mo won the fight. From what I saw, the majority of the media thought Mo won the fight. I don't know about fans, but it seemed like Mo got robbed from what I saw of the people I follow on Twitter. Not only it wasn't even a split decision, it was a unanimous decision. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a work, it's a fix, hometown judges, hometown crowd. I don't really know what it is exactly, but I thought Mo got screwed. But in a way, it worked out for the best. You know, even Rampage looked like he thought he lost before the decision was announced. But they just kept talking shit even before the decision, after the decision, post-fight press conference, possible rematch. So, I don't know. I mean, it sucks for Mo. They got robbed. But just tons of shit talking afterwards by these guys still. Mo's still going off on Bjorn. So, who knows? If there is a rematch, it's going to be a lot of stuff to, you know, show for it. A lot of footage to build it up even more. But, anyways, it was an entertaining night of fights. Not the best, you know, event or anything like that. Not even the best MMA. Not saying it's like a B league. A guy I was talking to at the bar, he's like, "Would you consider this a AAA league compared to the UFC?" In a way, but that doesn't diminish the fighters. There's guys in here that compete in the UFC, in my opinion. But crazy night of fights, entertaining, memorable, a lot of stuff to talk about afterwards. That's pretty much all you can ask for, in my opinion. It didn't suck. Wasn't a bunch of boring fights. So as long as it's not that, I'm good to go. Anyways, I want to know if you guys saw this event. If so, what did you think about the event, the pacing, the fights, the decisions, anything? If you did see it, even if you streamed it, I don't care. I just want to know about it. What you guys' thoughts about it? Anyways, that's it for now. What did you think about Tito's win, man? If you saw it, were you as surprised as I was, and were you happy he won? Do you want to see him fight again, you know? So let me know. Anyways, that's it for now. Link to Twitter in there for any short videos. As always, if you want to check me out on there. Till next time, I'm out.